Are you easily triggered by people? Is it really easy to push your buttons and make you upset or make you offended? Do you feel like you are really hypersensitive and whatever happens easily affects you, and it's like you are really absorbing their energy to the point that you lose your control because you can't take it anymore? Well, if it's the case, then in this video, I'm gonna share with you what worked for me in order to not be bothered anymore when something external to me happens or where anything is triggering me. How to take back the control of how you feel and perceive things in order to interact better with people and don't feel the need and the urge to hide from them or isolate yourself. If you are hypersensitive, if you are triggered by people, by what they say, by what they do, if you are triggered by any external circumstance, know that it's normal. There is nothing wrong with you. This is the first point that we need to clarify right here and now. Okay, you are fine and you are good. Everything is good. The only thing is that you didn't know what was happening or what is happening and how to elaborate it and process it in a way that serves you rather than harm you. It's all about self-awareness, actually. Hypersensitiveness, or this triggering and those emotions that arise before you step into the reactive mode where maybe you are upset or you want to be isolated or you get frustrated or angry. Before you react to the situation, just take a moment to acknowledge what is happening. A person told me something that triggered me, and I felt really upset. What is going on with me? What did they say? What did that make me feel? Why do I have this feeling? Is it relevant? Is it the only way I could react and feel about it? Is it really what they meant? There is a very huge difference between what you hear and what another person says, and vice versa. Between what you say to someone and what they hear from you, there is really a huge difference. There is a difference of perceptions, of perception of what is the intention, the situation or the attitude on which the person is when she's saying something, and all the things that are going on around that we are not even aware of. And when you hear something, you hear it from a place of situation where you are on that moment. So in that moment, if you are hypersensitive, maybe you have had a bad day, you have been dealing with something difficult, you are stressed, maybe a stress that you are not really aware of, something that happened a few days ago, a few months ago, or in your childhood. And that person with that word triggered in you an urge and a need maybe to be aggressive, to defend yourself, to make a point, because you felt like you were threatened, undervalued, not seen as you are. Maybe what they said to you or the situation made you feel like you are seen by this person as you are stupid, or they are lying to you and you didn't like the fact that they lied to you. All of those things can push you to react impulsively right when the word is said or the situation is activated. And it's normal because this is how us human beings usually function. But it's not natural, actually, which is a good news. It is just a habit of dealing with life and people and situations. And the habit, the good news, is that it can be changed. I am a very hypersensitive person, and I really feel things amplified. So if someone just says something like, you didn't get well today, or you are hypersensitive, or why are you overreacting, right there, it triggered in me a sense that I am unworthy, that I am less than them, and I feel like I'm judged. And what is the instinctive reaction? It is to defend myself, to show that it's wrong, to show that I am good enough, and to try to make them change their mind about me. But all of this is based on an assumption, a perception that I seen and I interpreted in a very quick way without even considering it or questioning it or really listening to what the person is saying, rather than hearing what I heard and just using it as a fact to react to the thing and take it personally. So the action of self-awareness in this part of the situation is really going to be the key. It is going to take you from reacting to the situation and letting all those feedbacks and scenarios and stories about how unworthy you are and not deserving and all of that react and create in you an impulsive reaction of whether it's be it sadness, frustration, anger, willing to defend yourself or to make your point. You move to the position of observing what is happening, taking a little bit of distance and stepping back to understand what is happening. Okay, this person said this thing on this situation. I heard this thing and I felt this, but why did I feel it? What did I feel and why did I feel it? It's like creating a relationship with your emotions to understand them. You understand what is the emotion, so you name the emotion, and then you understand the story behind the emotion, because every emotion we feel when we are experiencing anything in our life is telling us a story. It is showing us that that situation has been in our mind unconsciously attached to a meaning, whether it's positive or negative, because we cannot feel emotions when dealing with things that are irrelevant or neutral for us. We only have the emotion, we only feel the emotion when it's something that is important for us. It is important and we give it a meaning. So when you are feeling upset when someone tells you something, or when a situation is not pleasing to you, it is because you gave it a meaning. And the emotion is going to indicate it to you. So when you are feeling angry because someone said to you something that triggered in you anger, it's generally not about what the person said. It's about what happened within you. Because they might say whatever they want to say, it's not what they say, it's what you hear. And when you hear something, you build a meaning. This is how we recognize events and words and things. We give them meaning and we experience them and we relate with others based on what we hear and what happens within us and within our mind. It is either going to trigger in us a defensiveness, an aggressiveness, or an openness and a willingness to go in it and build on it. So once you are aware, you distance yourself from it and you are friend with your emotions, even the worst of them, and you question it, you give it the name. This emotion is this one. I am feeling this emotion. I am feeling it because of this event. Is it actually the event or what I heard from the event? What did I hear? Did I hear that I am not worthy of love? Did I hear that I am not worthy of respect? Did I hear that I am not seen as an honest person? Did I hear that my integrity have been shaken and the person doubted my integrity and my person? Did I hear that I was attacked on my personality and who I truly am? I need also to understand if this is a reality for me. Is it relevant and true for me? Is it actually true? If I am feeling that someone maybe doubted my integrity, I know that my intentions are pure and I know that my integrity is unquestionable and I'm sure of myself, I wouldn't really give too much importance to what I heard. And I might be willing to get further to understand where this person is coming from. What is she really wanting to tell me? What is the intention that she have behind this conversation or the thing that she said or the behavior? Because when I get to a point where I know myself, I know when I check my intentions and I understand my emotions and I know I check what I heard to see if what I heard is really in alignment with who I am and what I believe to be true about myself or not, I am able then to not take it personally and to want and be willing to dive deeper and get to understand what the person is saying rather than just trusting what I heard and let that part of me just take the control of the situation and lose it. Because most of the time what happens is that when we trigger in ourselves self-doubt, lack of self-esteem or lack of self-confidence, that part of us that feels like she's not enough and she is afraid that She might be rejected. She might not be seen or heard or understood. She might not be respected. Therefore, she's going to be not validated by others. This is a part that is really harmful for us because as a human being, we are programmed to be accepted and validated. We really crave the attention of others, especially the people that we put on a pedestal and we consider important for us. Be it, for example, in our professional area or with our partner or with a family member or a friend, whatever person that we consider very important. And when we position them on a pedestal, we position them in a position that is higher than ours. We put standards, very high standards, and we base our assumptions and all our behavior and beliefs and emotional reactions based on this assumption of the fact that they are in a higher level than us, they are better than us, and therefore we are less, we are under, and their opinion really matters, and you will always hear whatever is going to confirm and validate our belief about ourselves and our self-image. So this is a very important part to understand in order for us to catch ourselves before we get into the hypersensitive reactive version of ourselves, before we get offended by what we have heard, and before we get triggered or reactive. Because if you understand and you acknowledge that really when somebody tell you something, it's not about what they say, it's more about what you hear, you already have a step forward in your understanding and your relationship with others. And once you have this and you start really distancing yourself and putting yourself in the position of the observer of yourself, what you hear, why you hear it that way and how you can hear it differently, and analyze if it's relevant or not. Also understand what is actually really triggered. Why am I really hypersensitive? What is it, the belief that is behind it? What is the story that came up? Because if you take that moment of break to understand and listen to yourself, you will notice that in addition to the emotions, there is also an inner self-talk that is happening. It can take the ride and really take you to dark places, or it can also be your guidance. Because if I am able to stop for a moment, I really feel the emotion and listen to what I'm saying in that moment. Let's say a friend of mine tell me that I don't handle very well situations. I am a total failure, or he think that I'm making bad choices in my life because I shared with them something personal. They maybe said you don't really handle well situations and relationships. You keep perpetuating the same cycle in your life and you keep attracting the same people. When will you learn the lesson? And at that moment, I heard that it was all judgment and criticism, and I felt really triggered because what was triggered was starting from the childhood when I have been always ignored by my family. When I get into relationships, the partner or a guy that I really like would be interested in a friend of mine more than me, or he would choose the other person. And even if I found myself in relationships, I will not be treated well. As a matter of fact, one of my most meaningful relationships, long relationships, was a relationship with a narcissistic abuser. And I was abused for a year and a half. And believe me, it is too much when you are in a narcissistic abusive relationship. It feels very long and it really consumes you. So when they told me that, when this friend told me that, I really felt maybe the truth hurt. And I didn't want to admit it. But that was what was triggered. It wasn't the fact that she told me that. What I heard was what really made me hypersensitive and made me feel offended and wanted to react and defend myself and maybe be aggressive and tell her, how dare you, you don't know me, that's not true. And I shouldn't be confessing to you my problems because you don't understand me. Before I get there, I stopped and I really thought about it and I said, wow, this is all the story. The feeling I was feeling that I needed to escape. I really wanted to run away from the conversation and I felt like I need to defend myself. It wasn't right. I felt something in my chest. And instead of just reacting, and what helped me is that it was one of my best friends. And I know that my best friend really care about me and genuinely love me. So I wasn't right offended by her. I really stopped, and when I heard my emotions and I heard the thoughts that were coming up, such as, yeah, you were never able to do something, and you see, as a matter of fact, nobody ever loved you. You were always the second choice. You were never the right choice, and you only attract bad people in your life, and you never were able. You don't even know what to do. You are a total failure. All of that was in my head, and I stopped and I listened to all of that and all the feelings. And what helped me on that moment, that what I know and what I shared with you, what a person says and what I hear are really two different dimensions. And knowing who you are and how to deal with yourself, because even in your vulnerability, if you are open and transparent with yourself, it's really very helpful, because when you don't see yourself as wrong, you are able to really open to yourself and be in a place where you don't judge yourself, but you observe yourself and listen. You might have made wrong choices in your life, and it's fine. We all do make wrong choices, and we might repeat them so often up until the moment we really get the lesson, and we are able then to make better decisions for ourselves. And what helped me also, that I knew deep down that when I asked the question, I was searching for an honest answer. I was searching for an honest feedback from someone that knows me and knows all my stories and were able to give me an honest opinion. And what I heard was a judgment, because I didn't feel comfortable on that situation. It wasn't a situation of my life where I felt proud of myself. So whatever you might say related to that part of my life, I would be triggered, I would be cynical, I would be aggressive and defensive. But when you know that all of those elements and factors that rise up whenever someone speaks to you about something that is really sensitive to you, important, or maybe it's a part of you where you are not secure of yourself, where you lack the confidence, or you don't have enough self-esteem on that area of your life, you are gonna be triggered. You are gonna hear what is gonna get you to go down deeper in that situation to try to heal it. If you know how to listen to your emotions and the thoughts and the stories that are coming. For me, for example, relationships used to mean betrayal, people will treat you bad, abuse is normal, guys aren't kind, you need to please someone in order to be validated. If you don't please the person you are with and do whatever you can and change yourself to fit in their situation, you have failed. Because this is the only thing that I knew based on my culture and the people I've seen in my life. They were all doing this, and that was their advice. I didn't know better, so I found myself repeating the same cycle, but it hurt. It ruined and damaged my self-esteem and my self-image, and the meaning and the story I made about it was that relationships are bad, but you have to fit in them because it's the only thing that you can ever afford. You are not worthy of any better thing or any better relationship. As a matter of fact, those relationships only exist in movies or for other people, but not for me. You see how many stories we can tell ourselves about just one conversation, and how often we don't even take the time to stop and become aware of this, because this is the secret. This is where you really need to work, and this is where you really need to put your energy to heal it, to understand it, to listen to it, and to let that part of you know that you are not wrong, that you might have made mistakes, but this is because you acted upon on what you believed to be the only way to do things. And by exchanging with this friend and by repeating the same experiences and getting hurt more and more on the process, you arrived to a point where you couldn't take it any further, and you are saying enough. So now it's about being vulnerable with yourself and being okay with it, and also understanding that whatever you hear from outside, it's what you hear, it's not what they say. And also remember that what people say It's not our responsibility. We cannot know exactly what are their intentions, and vice versa, of course, because they cannot neither them understand what are our intentions, what we are going through, what are our triggers, what is our background, what is the meaning we are giving to our life or to any area of our life, and what can be for us problematic or very sensitive of ourselves. This is our job with ourselves, to know ourselves deeper. Our job is also to communicate clearly. And in order to do so, it's important to put ourselves in a place where we really don't take what others say personally. They don't know us. No one in this world, even your parents, don't know you as much as you can know yourself. They assume. They base their theory on the trailer they see of you. Because when you are showing or dealing with any person in your life, they are just seeing a trailer of you, a version of you. It might be good, it might be bad for them, but it's their version of you. And they will base all their idea of you on that trailer that they will see. And the same for us from our point of view. We cannot pretend to know everyone perfectly and deeply better than they do for themselves. We know what we perceive. We know based on the trailer we have, the version that we see of them and we experience. And it's on our perception. So this is an acknowledgement and an information that is very helpful to shift from being reactive and hypersensitive to not taking anything personally. Remembering that what you say and what I hear are really two different things, put me in a position when I am in control of what I hear. I am in charge of what I hear, how I hear it, and what I want to make it mean for myself. And if what I hear is not really convincing to me, I can go further with you asking questions to understand your intention, because I cannot know it for yourself. I can trust that what you are telling and your intentions are whatever you are revealing to me. So instead of really right away be reactive and defensive, take the time to make the difference between those two parts and to listen. And really the most important thing in whatever is happening in your life, be it events, circumstances, just remember that it's not about what is happening. It's about what is happening within you. How are you experiencing it? And what is the meaning that you are giving to it? Because that is what is gonna help you make a decision about how you are gonna feel about it and how you are gonna give your life from that moment on. Circumstances don't matter. Your state of being does. And this applies also to any other thing in your life. And since in this video, what is important and the focus is to share with you how to really put yourself in a place whenever you are exchanging with people where you are in the position of facing any exchange or any conflict and being open to any conversation without falling into the trap of avoidance or fear of being rejected or feeling not enough to handle the conversation, believing and assuming that the person or the world is against you, because it's not that the world is against you, it's that you heard and thought that the world is against you or that person is against you. But it's what you hear, it's not what the other person says or what life is telling to you. And that this is a very good news, honestly, because from the moment I discovered this concept and I applied it in my life, I can tell you that I don't find myself anymore in a situation where I want to hide or I want to avoid. I find myself in a place where I am at peace with myself, really. At peace because I'm not afraid of being vulnerable. I'm not afraid to be sincere with myself. And I'm not afraid to face the dark areas of my life where I still need to hear and do that shadow work. Whenever I am interacting with people or with life, with circumstances, I know that it's not personal. I know that I can choose how to hear it. This is my choice and my power. And I am not in control of what others can say and what circumstances could be and what might happen around me. I'm in control and in charge of what is happening within me. And as a matter of fact, once you start applying this, you will notice how your interactions will change. Your attitude will be completely different. You will feel that you are in a place of power, of confidence, of knowing and being all right, because you start to accept in yourself every part. You don't see yourself as a person that is wrong and need to be fixed, and therefore, trust me, you will start seeing others as well as whole people, not people with problems or people that need to be fixed or to be avoided because they are problematic. You start to seeing people as whole, and you understand that between what you say and what they hear, there is a huge difference. And it becomes so natural for you to really be genuinely explaining your intentions and exposing them to them, because you know what it means. You have been through it. And by the way, when you are a hypersensitive person, you are also very empathetic and you feel the energy of people. Now, instead of really being the victim of your hypersensitiveness, because if you don't know it, you can feel really weak. And it's hurtful, and I know it, I've been there, and I am sure you agree with me that your hypersensitiveness developed in you empathy. And your empathy, I am sure, and please let me know in the comments if it resonates with you, if you can recognize yourself on what I'm saying, you are able to really see the energy of people, not only their words or their actions. It's as if you have the ability, a scan that allows you to really go beyond that. And that's why people feel very comfortable to speak with you, to open up to you, and to tell you very personal stories, because you project it and people can feel it as well. Not knowing the power that we have as hypersensitive or empathetic people can put us in situations where we feel drained, we feel scared, we feel broken. But it's just because we didn't have knowledge about it. We didn't understood it to use it more accordingly in the appropriate way. I hope that in this video you have been able to really see what it is to be hypersensitive, and now you are able to acknowledge it when you are feeling and getting offended by a word or by a situation or by a person. And instead of jumping into the reactive modality, you are going to be aware and remember that what they say and what you hear are two different things, and listen to what you are hearing, observe it, and maybe also analyze the stories and beliefs behind it. You will see that your response will be much more powerful, and it's going to really set a very positive tone to your interaction with others. It's really a game changer in your interactions and your social life. And you are going to feel really comfortable with yourself, authentic, yourself, and okay, because you start to see yourself as a whole person that maybe have things in their life that they define it in a way that didn't serve them. And now you know how to change the story, how to change the narrative, because you do have all the tools. I can't wait to hear your stories about it, and let me know what you think about this idea, this tip about how to really stop being the reactive of your life and get offended, and instead shift to a place of understanding and responding to life and to circumstances. I do have also a video that really goes through the emotions and what they mean for us, for you to be able to understand better your emotions and dig deeper on the concept of our emotions are revealing us stories and beliefs about us. I will link it in the description below. I hope this video have been of value to you. Please let me know in the comments, and if you like this content and you want to see more of it, don't hesitate to hit the like button and to subscribe to my channel to see more of it. I thank you again, and I wish you a very pleasant day. Much love.